Hey guys, DVSGames here, welcome to another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at dragons, and we're going to show a few teams that can get you everything from the very start of Dragons B12 all the way through to building your Tricaru and using those teams. So we're going to go ahead and start off. We know about the Tricaru, but this is the team that we're going to go ahead and use. It's easily obtainable, super farmable. You can buy Ulsharion from the coin shop, you fuse the Veramon, you fuse the bird, you can get the secret dungeon for the Spectra, and you have the secret dungeon for Lauren as well. Now this is the bird that we are using. He is on attack, crit damage attack, on rage will. You can obviously get different runes. You can use them on fatal, you can use them on swift, you can use them on violet. It all depends on what you're able to get it to. Just make sure he has 100% crit rate. And in my opinion, he should move last in your team. Some people like to put him at the very front with really high speed, and he drags your team along and makes everybody else be able to move a little bit slower. But in my opinion, I like him to go last so that way he can push everybody forward. As you saw, the Veramos was on Violet focus. He was on speed, HP, resistance. Not unobtainable runes. You can go ahead and pause the video if you need to get a closer look at any of the stats. By all means, I do encourage you guys to do that. This is the Lauren that I currently use in other aspects of the game. She's in my DB12 team. She's on full flight, attack, with attack artifacts. The Ulsharion, as you saw, was also on speed, HP, defense, I believe, or speed, attack, defense, I believe, and violent focus. The key for this team is you do want to make sure that all your monsters have got at least 60% accuracy. I didn't reach that with the Ulsharion, just to prove to you guys that it actually still works even without that. The Spectra, as you saw, was on violent focus as well. He is on speed, crit damage, HP. Again, I believe he doesn't have enough accuracy, but he has what he has enough to get what he needs to get done. Now, on these particular runs, I'm only going to show you guys the absolute worst run and the absolute slowest run, so you can have an idea of what happens when things don't go exactly as planned and when you have a little bit of a hiccup. The teams are reliable enough to actually get the job done. So here we have Veramos to control the attack bar. We have Spectre to control the attack bar and give us damage. We have Ver to give us attack bar and deal damage. We have Ulsharion to strip and give us immunity if it ever gets up. And we also have the Lauren to go ahead and strip as well as push back attack bar. The team is it's not a horrible team. It is very consistent, it works well. The problem with it is that it's not fast. As you can see, we're all tanky enough to take a shot from the dragon. We're not worried about it. We have that little bit of heal that comes from Veramos, so that'll keep us alive. And this was the worst run in the 10 runs that I did. There it is, it's at 222. As you can see, it averages 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Here's a look at the other times that we had running in here. Also guys, do keep in mind, my towers are maxed from the arena farming. If yours aren't maxed, they should be. If not, just remember you have to add a little bit more stats. From there, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this team. We're going to remove the Veramos and we're going to add in Fran as a primary healer as well as an attack buff. We're also going to remove the Spectra and the Lauren, and in place of attack bar manipulation, we're going to go with our water twins, and they're going to be here for more damage. So this is going to speed up the run a little bit. We still need a strip though, because we're not going to be fast enough to kill them before the boss gets immunity. So we'll go ahead and keep Ulsharion in because he'll steal the strip off and give us immunity whenever Fran doesn't have her skill 3 up. So at least that way we can still kind of mitigate the dot damage that we might get. As you can see, the monsters, I tried to place them in the turn order that they go in, with the exception of Vert, of course, because he is the leader. So he's going to be at the very front. But we're still going to be using Sabrina at 205 and Artalia at 167. And as you can see, she's on attack crit damage attack, she's on Violent Blade. The Sabrina, I believe, was on Violent Shield. Again, if you need to stop the video, pause it, look at the stats a little bit closer. I do have it sped up a little bit just because of the fact that this video, because they're not speed teams, it does take quite a bit to actually get through them. I mean, could you imagine watching 10 runs at 2 minutes and 40 seconds each? Of course, that would take forever, right? But yes, this is a team that you can use to farm, especially with these coins that we got out right now. I think that those tokens are going to be very useful for you guys to go ahead and get your Violet runes going. As you can see here, we had a couple of defense breaks on the Fran. She got really low. Again, this is the absolute worst run out of the 10. So the reason that I think it takes so long is just because since they're targeting down Fran, she's not able to get her attacks off. She's really just focusing on trying to keep herself alive. And then once we get to the dragon, it's not too big of a deal. We get a defense break on him, we get an attack break on him, and we're able to mitigate his damage. We have Fran to keep us alive. Sharion, again, he'll just steal the immunity to keep it on us. And of course, we're going to take a little bit of extra damage if he gets a turn, but it's not a problem. We're totally fine with it. And here you go. As you can see, as the slowest run in this particular 10 run, we were just under 2 minutes, but we averaged about 1 minute and 41 seconds. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next team. And I'm going to show you guys a dot team that we can use. Now, this is actually a very, very consistent team. Again, Veramos is back in it. We haven't changed him. We're running a Gina for some extra control, and as well as a strip. She is a smart stripper, so she is able to actually wait until the boss gets immunity and then she'll use it. And here we have our Sath. Now Gina does provide dots in her own right, so she'll put up a couple of dots with her skill 2, I think it is, and her skill 1. We have Sath to double the damage of the dots, and then we have our water homunculus, who is built on the TOA dot build, and he's on Fatal Blade, and he's going to go ahead and put more dots on according to debuffs that are already on the enemy. And then we have our tattoo here to blow everything up. Now she is on double flight shield. Again, you don't really need anything, you don't need these runes in particular. You do just want to make sure that you have approximately 60 to 65% accuracy. You want everybody to be speed tuned to the point where it's between I want to say about 200 speed and 175 speed to be safe. As you can see, my tattoo is a little bit slower, but again, keep in mind I do have maxed out towers. So again, this is going to be the absolute worst run, and as you can see, Sath goes down in this second round, which is definitely a bad thing for us, because obviously that means that our dots aren't going to do as much damage. But we're still able to control and get where we need to. And of course, once we get here to the boss, you can see that we're gonna have a little bit of a problem because we can't keep the dots on. So instead of actually trying to deal with just the boss, we're not gonna change focus of it, but it's still gonna stay on auto. But now we have to wait for the dots to kill off the towers. And since our tattoo is so low level, she's not going to survive the whole thing, so she's not going to be able to explode the dots all the time. But basically all we're doing is we're just trying to survive long enough. We have Vero that is cleansing the dots off, giving us a little bit of a heal, and that'll help us long enough to go ahead and hold out, as we use Gina to go ahead and get the immunity off, and then here we'll have enough dots soon enough to go ahead and kill off the tower or the dragon. So here we go. This one got really close, but we did get it done. As you can see, this one took us 2 minutes and 40 seconds, so pretty long time. Now here's our 10 time av, which was 1 minute and 36 seconds. So quite literally almost double for the longest run. Our fastest run was 107. Here you go, you can go and take a look here. As you can see, about 1:30, 1:40 is actually about average. It's not bad at all. It's something that you can use to farm regularly. I think that this will be a suitable team for farming. And of course, we go ahead and finish off with our Tricaru team. Once you get the stats you need, this is the team you build. It's a very good team to build. It's probably the fastest, most consistent team that you can build. Since I've started using it, I have never had it fail. The only time that I think you'll ever get close to failing is if you're just not there with your damage as far as the vert is concerned. A lot of people try to make the mistake of getting too much speed on him. You really don't need him super fast. Literally 30-40 speed is all you need out of it. And again, if you have your towers maxed, that makes it so much easier. So you get to where you need stat wise, and it runs well. If you can get more damage on him, even better. If you want to upgrade it, even better. The biggest thing that I've had since I built it, I've changed the runes around once, and that's it. I've made them so that my Icarus had a little bit more attack, but aside from that, I haven't really done anything to it. Now this team in particular, I believe, is one that you definitely do need to build though. Not only can you use it in Dragons, you can also use it in Necro as a speed team. You can use it in Punisher's Crypt, and you can use it in Labyrinth on the time limit stages, if that's something that you're into. You can even use it in TOA normal. So definitely this team, you get a lot of use out of it. You build it, and you can make alterations to it or not. You can keep it as it is, but it definitely works well. Again, this is going to be the longest run out of the 10 runs, and you can see that the average for this team is right around 45 seconds for me. This is a 51-second run, and it's really not that bad. Average 49 seconds. So yeah, this was actually a really slow run. I got 45 seconds out of the best one, and that's where we ended up. Like I said, this is definitely a team that you need to build eventually, but hopefully with the teams that I gave you, it gives you either a starting point or a spot that you can progress to on the next point. You definitely want to try to get as many runs as you possibly can in that 1 hour. So thanks for joining, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all learned something. Catch you in the next one. Laters.